big day that everybody comes in, whether you're a believer or a non-believer, whether you go to church all year or you don't go to church all year.
Okay, so Jesus fasted for 40 days. And so what they did is that in the Catholic religion is giving up something for 40 days. And I didn't understand what I was doing, but I knew that the one place that I could feel this peace and acceptance was going to a church. Invite people and tell them that there is a place that they feel welcome and they are more than welcome.
And God says, guess what? There's a free entry this day, and I will give you more peace on this one Sunday than you will have throughout the whole year. I will show you what my love really feels like. What the enemy does for bad, God turns around and does it for good. And that's what it's like.
Welcome back to New Beginnings.
What's going on?
So we're back we are super excited. So New Beginnings is the podcast. We tell with you every episode how good God is through this podcast. Thank you for all our faithful listeners. Thank you to all the people who constantly tune in every Monday. So thank you for tuning in today as well. So today we are going to be discussing and talking about, with a few weeks ago being that it was Ash Wednesday. I know my kids were all tripping out and wondering what these ashes or black dirt on people's head was. And, we are getting ready for Easter Sunday, which is only 30 days away or less than 30 days away.
It's like the Super Bowl for all churches,
Right.
It's the big day that everybody comes in, whether you're a believer or a non-believer, whether you go to church all year or you don't go to church all year, you know about Easter and you know about going to church.
Wait, some people know about Easter, or they know about what Easter is: new outfits. It means barbecues, but very few people. And if our podcast is always geared towards helping educate believers and non-believers, we want to help educate from a spiritual standpoint of what Easter is. And so we were sharing how my kids, like a few weeks ago when it was Ash Wednesday, my kids were like, what is that on people's head? Why do they have black in the middle of their forehead? And I started thinking about it. I was like, what does that mean? And I had looked it up and I was like, oh, so what it represents is that in different religions and what they believe and what they practice, and you came from a Catholic background, but you don't know a lot about it, but you know enough to know that that's what you were and what you did, what it meant to you.
It's actually a cross on their forehead. It's just because the priest uses his thumb, it looks like a smudge.
But is it ashes?
It is. It's smuck. It's what it's called. It's ash.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that is.
Can you imagine if we would have got some of that and did that to the kids? Sorry.
They quickly put a cross on your head.
And then it means come to the next person.
Yeah, and the next person. But the cross typically looks like just a smudge on their head.
Okay,
But
so
that's what it is. It's a
so
cross.
what it represents though is, okay, so Jesus fasted for 40 days in the wilderness. He fasted for 40 days. And so what they did is the Catholic implemented something like that. It's fasting in the Catholic religion is giving up something for 40 days. People some Catholics, they give up
alcohol,
drinking.
That was
drinking.
The biggest one. I ain't gonna drink for 40 days. And then on Easter, bam, they're drinking that day. It's like a finish line to get to Easter because then they pop it open. I ain't drinking 40 days, but I'm gonna drink on
all day.
All day. Yeah,
I didn't even go to church on Sunday.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But it's not to down talk any religion.
No.
It's just helping you, educate you. Because I didn't know. I came from a Pentecostal background and I did not know anything about it and what it represented. So they give up alcohol, maybe social media. They give up caffeine. And I know I was looking for
no meat on Fridays.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I forgot about that.
Everybody does fish.
And a lot of people may have those questions and wonders because even too, there are people who convert from Catholicism and they convert to Christianity. And I think they expect the same thing when they're making this transition from one religion to the next. And so in our Christian beliefs, there's no, we don't do the ash,
Yeah.
and we don't, say we're going to do this for 40 days. Although you can do it spiritually between your relationship with God is to really fast. But as Christians, we fast throughout the year. We don't just do it one time a year. We
Yeah.
actually do it more often whenever we feel the need or God is, put an urge or a desire inside of us to fast. And for us, it's giving up something for a duration of time of how long God tells us to do it. And so we want you all to know that as we're getting ready for Easter Sunday in the Christian life, it's one of the biggest holidays that we as believers believe in, and we like really, really do every effort we can because we know that people are looking for a church to attend on Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday is a big, big holiday that people will go to church. They don't always go to church.
Yeah.
And we love to invite people to come be a part of our celebration because if it's the one opportunity that we have for people to really understand who we are as believers, but even a relationship with Christ, we have one shot.
It's on
It's like
Easter.
Super Bowl, you said, right?
It's on Easter. I remember 2 years ago that I invited all my coworkers
Yeah.
to church, and I invited them week after week, and they wouldn't go. But then all of a sudden, it's Easter Sunday, and again, I invite them, and they're like, "Okay, yeah." And I work with a bunch of younger guys, so they're all in like their 20s, and they said, "Okay, yeah, I'll go on Easter." And sure enough, they showed up on Easter Sunday in their suit and their sport coat and with their girlfriend, and it was the one time for a non-believer to accept and it be okay to walk into a church because those are the same guys that said, "No, I don't go to church and you only call on God when you need something." But it was okay for them to come on Easter Sunday. It was like
yeah.
an open door for all churches and people to show up that particular day.
And I want to believe because evangelism and sharing the love of Jesus Christ is a part of our daily life. We want to do that. That's why we started this podcast because we wanted to show the love of Jesus Christ through a podcast of non-judgment. We wanted to share about seeing lives transformed, and I think that goes back to us. And I know for me, like I share a lot of that. It was back when I was a non-Christian. I did the same thing that a lot of people do. I made sure that my kids had a brand new outfit. I made sure I went to church that day, which means I didn't go out on Saturday night because if I did, then I'd drink too much and I'd be hungover, or I drank too much and started doing drugs and I wouldn't make it to church. And then I would sit there and feel guilty. But I knew I wanted to, and I didn't understand what I was doing, but I knew that the one place that I could feel this peace and comfort and a feeling of acceptance was going to a church. And when I was in the world, and no matter how much drugs I did, and no matter how many times I went out and I partied and all the things that happened to me, I knew that if I could just make it to the church, that it would make some type of difference. If I could just get 1 ounce of peace in my life, that I would do every effort to get there. So I wouldn't go out on Saturday night, the day before Easter, because I really wanted to go to church. And so Saturday, I spent all day doing my nails, doing my hair, taking my kids, making sure they had outfits, my 2 boys, and making sure that I made it to church on Sunday. And so our goal and our job and every day now, it's like we don't just wait for Easter Sunday to invite people to our church. We don't, you constantly tell people at your job, people that are your clients, that you come in and you share how good God is on a regular basis. But there are some people that don't do that on an everyday, they wait until it's Easter. And so I think it's important. And what I want us to do in this episode is to invite people and tell them that there is a place that they feel welcomed, and they are more than welcome to come to our church. I know our church is at 3:00 and most people are probably already drinking. Most people are already barbecuing, but it is a place where we as believers, we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Like, this is the day that Jesus arose from the dead. This is the reason why we are new people. This is the whole reason why 3 o'clock doesn't mean anything to us, or coming later, or, none of that matters, because it's the day that we truly honor as believers, that it's because of his resurrection that we have this new life.
Hey, you look great over there.
I was wondering why you keep on looking
I
at
was
me like
just,
that. I was wondering if I had something wrong with my
no,
face or
but
something.
no, just your outfit and the new setup and everything like that. You look great over there. I love the new chairs you got and everything like that. It looks great. You look real bougie over there. But anyways, yes, back to Jesus. Yeah. So on we want to invite you. No, girl, stop. We want to invite you on Easter Sunday. We want to invite you to church. We want to invite you to come and celebrate. When is it?
April 5th.
April 5th in Austin, Texas at 3 p.m. Don't worry about the time. Don't worry about the time.
Austin
Powerhouse Church. We'll have, all the information at the end of the podcast for you. But I want you now. I'm giving you 30 days. It was like 30 some days before Easter?
Like less than 30 days.
Less than 30 days to make a decision. Make a decision. And it's not about going out and barbecuing and drinking and doing all those things. It's truly, like she said, about the resurrection and what he's done for us, and why we even have the freedom to go and do those things. And don't get me wrong, the party's still going to be going on. Y'all act like y'all's party ends at 7 o'clock. It probably barely got started. Your uncle probably barely put the brisket on anyways. But what I'm saying is, like, go enjoy it. See what it's like. Being a Christian is not for the weak. Being a Christian is not for men and women who, nothing happens to us. No, if you used to fight in the world, come on, because we fighting in the spirit over here too. And it's just like that, just like Super Bowl. Nobody watches Super Bowl, or nobody watches football throughout the whole year, but the one big game on Sunday, you don't even have to be Sunday. A football
you don't even
fan.
Have to, or it might not even be your team playing.
It might not be even team. You're just going. You're just going to watch it because it's the one game that everybody watches.
Yeah, that's true. So true.
So Easter for us is the one Sunday that, man, there's more love that day than any other day. There's more welcoming that day than any other day. There's more relationship that day than any other day. And, and
all these churches are waiting for people to come in. They're waiting for prepped new and ready. Souls. Yeah.
They know. It's like this year, the Bad Bunny was the Super Bowl halftime. Why was he the halftime? Because of all the controversy that he created for Super Bowl. That's what it was. He created controversy just so that we could watch Super Bowl. The enemy's been doing that all year. He's been making you depressed, having you have thoughts, doing
anxiety, fear,
anxiety. He's doing all that. And God says, guess what? There's a free entry this day. And I will give you more peace on this one Sunday than you will have throughout the whole year. I will show you what my love really feels like. What the enemy does for bad, God turns around and does it for good. And that's what it's like. We're in March. Easter is in April. You already gone 4 months of not knowing. You've already.
But you know what's crazy is that even thinking about it, it's still like the beginning of the year. There's still so much more left of the year that you can continue to change the direction of your path of, like, maybe it didn't start out so good, but right now and Easter Sunday coming up is a great opportunity for you to just push restart. And if it's, maybe it didn't start off so good, but you can continue, here on out to start making that change and that difference in your life. And again, I have this super desire in my heart to really tell people the importance of Easter Sunday. It's so important that it is a time for people to really come to the place of, like, building their relationship with God.
Yeah.
And no better time than to be ready. And, even like we said, in Lent, they're fasting. People are fasting and they're giving up things. But as a believer, you can do that, and you can fast, and you can give up things. You can give up, sodas. You can give up whatever it is too that you want to give up. And I'm not saying go binge on it on Easter Sunday, because that's like gluttony, but but actually starting it, and really starting to start somewhere in this thing called life, because I really feel like we're we're in time where things are just really crazy right now, like, in schools, in life, in where people are. But it's time to get serious about your relationship with God. And there's so many people, and I know people that are watching, if you're not a believer, and we talk about, all of these things to help you in your journey. Maybe this is going to be your first time walking into church. Maybe it's because, it's funny because down the street, down the street, I've always had this desire to, I want to go to LA, and I want to walk right up into the middle of where the drug dealers, and right in the middle of, like gang members. And I just want to tell them, hey, Jesus loves you. Like, I just have this vision that one day I'm going to go right in the middle of this, and then just tell people that God loves them. And so,
Oh my
the
God!
funny,
Her visions always come to pass. This is one of them right here. Nina
the,
had a vision of a
the funny
podcast,
thing,
and look where
and
we're at today.
And the funny thing is that nobody knows, but around this, around the corner from my mom, there's these people, and it does not always smell like outside beautiful. It smells like skunks, and I just stop right down the street, and I'm like, "Hey, when are you going to church?" Or if I catch them inside the Dollar General down the street from my mom's, they always smell like skunks, if you know what I mean. And I'm like, hey, are you going to go to church with me yet? And they're like, nah, that church going to burn down. And I'm like, well, it ain't burned down yet. And it ain't burned down in 19 years. And if I can go there, you can go there. And so recently, when we got our new vehicle, I pulled up, and I was like, hey, guess what? I got enough room in the back. Like, oh, girl, I'm going to hold on to the back. I'm like, yeah. But it's that type of love. Just because they smelt like skunks, just because they may have had a skunk in their hand and smoking a skunk, I still let them know that I love them, and the church welcomes them, and
Oh
we
my God!
want them there.
Yes.
And so I just feel like there's this urgency in my spirit and in my heart to share the love of Jesus Christ, not with judgment, not with like, oh my God, I can't believe you smell like, or just the fact that they see me as a Christian and as a believer. Recently I had a women's group, and our neighbor who we used to live next to in Del Valley, I mean, we saw them, we shared the same front yard, and they always had parties, and they were hanging out and doing whatever. But I could only imagine if I would have came out and been like, hey, turn your music down, I go to church tomorrow, or like I would have represented that as a believer. I don't think that lady and her daughter would have ever come to our church. But it was because through all the years we lived right next door to them, all we did was love them. We literally took the scripture that God said, love your neighbors. And that's what we did. We loved our neighbors, and they loved us back. And they never went to church.
Yeah.
They were not church goers. They did not believe, like they did not they didn't go to church. But to see them show up at a women's group, which was my church group, my connect group, they showed up because they said, I remember all those years of you living right next door to us. You never were judgmental. You never were rude. You were like, and so when I knew that, and she said something, she goes, I knew when my daughter wanted to find out, she goes, I remember my daughter coming to me and telling me that she wanted to explore, and she wanted to find Christ, or she wanted to go to a church. She goes, me and my husband looked at each other, and we loved them, Hondo and Nancy. She goes that they looked at each other and said, call Nina and George. And she said something that made everything so like, I felt like that day, that was such an encouragement. She said, I remembered that our daughter would be okay in y'all's hands. And that just made me feel like, wow. And it's been how many years since we lived next door to them?
Like almost 10.
At least 10 years later. So this podcast might not touch everybody that same day, but I promise you that this podcast will touch somebody's heart, even if it's for one soul. Like God will touch their heart, and whether they come 10 years later,
Yeah.
but that they'll come and they'll be able to experience coming and having that opportunity and being able to have their own experience and building that
Yes.
relationship with God.
It's funny how you talked about the skunks and everything like that. But I didn't know.
We love people like that, though.
Well, I didn't know God's love like that because I grew up in a Catholic home, and I got my first communion, my confirmation. I went to Sunday mass,
Because even too, like as
catechism,
as
and all of
Catholics, don't
that.
you have to have all of those requirements before you get married?
Yeah, you got to go through classes, sacraments, have all of that before you get married and before you can, like, there was so much, but that's what I grew up in. And I remember if Cowboys were playing on a Sunday at 12, I didn't have to go to church because my dad didn't go to church, and we would stay at home and watch the Cowboy game, not go to church.
And barbecue. And barbecue and drink
And
beer.
barbecue, yeah, and that's what it was. But I didn't, in my experience, Catholicism or being Catholic never showed that kind of love, because my aunts were all Catholic, and of course us younger cousins, and we would go out and smell like a skunk and come back, and then they would scone it. What are y'all doing? You're gonna go to hell, and you're gonna, like, man, that's why I don't go to your church still, because y'all mean.
You shared that before too.
Yes, and then I come to Austin Powerhouse,
Yeah.
fresh out of
Share
prison,
that. Mhm.
and
you walked in. It was almost Easter Sunday.
it was
It was
in
Easter
March.
Sunday.
It
It was Easter Sunday that we went on our first
first
date.
date. Yes,
That's right.
So
But right before you went to church on Easter Sunday.
yes, I did.
And that's when the night before they had prayer, and that's when you walked in smelling like a skunk.
I had literally rode up a skunk from my house to the parking
I
lot,
like how we just gave it a new name.
and I consumed a half a skunk up until I got into the church parking lot, bro, and put it out,
Yeah.
sprayed cologne on, walked into this church that 16 years later I still attend, called Austin Powerhouse Church, and there was a lady at the door, and she told me she loved me. And I was shocked because,
You better tell me who she was. She said she loved you.
yeah, she was an old lady. Don't worry about it. She was an old lady, little old lady. She did a lawnmower like that, like that. Remember her? But she told me she loved me, and I looked at her, and I was like, you don't even. I looked at her, such a jerk. I looked at her, and I was like, you don't even know me.
I don't even think it was a jerk. I think it was in disbelief. I think you looked in disbelief because you had not experienced that type of not judgment,
right there.
especially in a church.
Unconditional love of
and a
somebody
love.
telling me that they
Right,
love me and didn't even
right,
know me.
Right. God
And-
blessed her little arms to give you a hug.
And I told her, and I was like, you don't even know me. And she goes, you're new. This is your first time. We prayed last night that somebody new would show up.
That's probably why
that
the
was
reason.
you.
That's probably why the reason we do that to people. Like we
What?
go up to them and be like, "You're new," because we know that feeling.
Oh yeah, that's really
Right?
for me. And when a new guy comes in, rather than shaking his hand, give him a hug and tell him I'm proud of him that he made it. Like
Yeah.
that
'Cause
thing
you
that throws
know.
people off. Like
Yeah.
really. And for her, and
they may smell like skunks. They may
Oh,
smell
yeah.
like alcohol. They may smell.
yes,
But I think that's the biggest lie of the enemy. And these people getting ready to go to an Easter service is that's probably, even now that I know, if I would have walked into our church even after I was drunk or high the night before, that there was a place that was going to accept me and love me the way they did you. And I mean, and of course, that's kind of still what happened for me. But those are the things that, to kill those lies of why people don't want to attend. But if they're thinking about it or considering it, we don't care what you did
you
last
ain't gotta be
night.
perfect, dog. Come on.
We just want you to come, and we want to share with you something that has been given to us. We want to give back to you.
Yes.
And it's something, and it's a day that we don't need anything from you. We want to give you something. And this is our gift to you.
Yes, this is
Yeah.
our gift to you. And the fact that you can show up, bring your family, bring your kids, and just show up. Show up as you are.
Show up
It
and
is-
show out.
It is not my job to fix you while you're there. It's God's job. It's God's job to talk to you and love on you and love the hell out of
Wow,
you.
that means you just that means it's gonna be 17 years in a few, right? No,
Yeah, a few
16?
days.
I don't know.
17. Going
16,
on
17?
16, 17. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
something
don't
like that.
know.
But yeah, so I mean, it's crazy that it was, 16 years ago that you were that you once walked in smelling like skunk, and now here you are today. And we shared that in the previous episodes of how God truly converted and transformed your life. And I think that there's always a starting point and an ending. And I think when you look back, like that was your starting point.
Oh, yeah.
And now, like, there's how many more people need that starting point, that need to know that they are welcomed, that there is a place that will accept them. And again, we're not just talking about the Catholic religion, we're talking about, the body of Christ. We're talking about Easter. We're talking about the opportunity that we're trying to present to people is welcoming them no matter where they're at or what their belief is about Easter Sunday,
Yeah.
because it's a big day that's coming. I mean, we're a few weeks away, and I think that's, even the people that, let's say they are believers, that they're believers, they come to the church now and they know that Easter Sunday, but I think they too struggle. Even believers struggle with, like, wow, I got to go to church and my church is until 3 o'clock. And man, we have, all my family's getting together and they don't go to church and they don't go to our church and they've already gone to church. So a lot of them are even believers struggle and they forget what Easter Sunday really is about.
Yeah.
And Easter Sunday is a big day that I think for us, it's like, doesn't matter what time it is. I just want to be in the presence of God. I just want to be in God's house. And I want to be there to embrace those people that may come in smelling like skunks or like alcohol. I want to be able to be that old lady to someone else that walks through our doors. I want to be those hands and feet for Jesus to say, hey, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad. I know it probably took everything inside of you not to go out last night and to come to church service on a Sunday, on an Easter Sunday, or no telling what they had to go through before they got there. But to
Yeah.
be at that front door, to embrace them and love them and welcome them, is really what this message is about, is that we have a place for you. We have a place for you. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter what you've been through or where you're at. We just want to tell you that we have a seat waiting for you.
If you want to, we want to extend this invitation to you. We're going to put our email on the bottom at the end. And this is really big for us because if you're watching this and this is really pressing in your heart, man, I've been trying to go to church. I want to go to church. I just don't want to walk in there by myself.
That's right.
And I don't really know nobody.
I don't want to sit alone.
And I don't want to sit alone.
Everybody's going to know that I
don't even know
smoked last
me,
night.
and
Everybody's going to know that I drank last night. Everybody's going to know that I partied last night.
Like, email us. Email us. Let's get connected. We will be waiting for you at that door.
Mm-hmm.
We will hold your hand and take you all the way inside.
Mm-hmm.
You will sit with us on our row, and you're going to be our family. Like, I truly feel in my spirit that's what's lacking. It's for somebody who doesn't know that we could grab your hand, because that's what Jesus does for us. That's what he does for me as a believer. When I'm going through something or I'm nervous or scared about something, he grabs my hand and he walks me through it.
Yeah.
So for you who have never been, for you who want to go, reach out to us on the bottom, reach out to us on our email, and we will make arrangements. Maybe you even show up before, so that way when you get here on Easter, you already know where to park and where to sit. But if it is for you, reach out to us. We will hold your hand. You will sit with us in the row. I can't wait.
I can't wait either, because I feel like not just the podcast, but me gearing up already, telling people and inboxing and messaging, to family, cousins, and inviting them. And even if they tell you no, and even if watching this podcast and you're like, nah, I'm not going. That's okay. That's okay. Because I know that this message is for someone.
Absolutely.
It's not for everybody, but it is for someone.
Absolutely.
And our church is not for everybody, but it is for someone. It's for people like me. And so I just want to personally invite you for Easter Sunday, that if you don't have a church service to attend, we'd like to welcome you to Austin Powerhouse Church in Austin, Texas. And you can always reach out to my husband and I. And like he said, there's going to be an email address attached towards the end. And you can email us and we can definitely build that conversation and help you get there. The next thing is that I just, like I said, this is not about religion. This is about a relationship. This is about you. And if you want to pray and you want to fast and you want to start building that, I know for me, I'm already starting to take my next 30 days of cutting something out of my life because I'm expecting something big to happen on Easter Sunday for me and my own spiritual walk. So with that being said, if this is you and you desire to know God for yourself, and if you desire to say, hey, you know what, for the next, I don't know, 10 days or 20 days, it doesn't have to be the full 40 days, but for the next 30 days, for the next 28 days, I want to experience what they're talking about. I really want to, I want to start somewhere. If that's you, all you have to do is say, Lord, I want to invite you into my life. And I want to know that God that they're talking about. I want to know you personally. And I want to prepare my heart to receive you now until Easter Sunday.
Yes.
And watch what God will do for you.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
with that being said, we just want to tell you we love you. Thank you for watching.
Don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe. Email us at the end of it. You'll have our email. So reach out to us.
Oh, and also we want to give a shout out to one of our friends, JMR Carrier Services. Ramos,
What's up,
thank you so
Ramos?
much. We want to tell you thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for sewing into the podcast. And
Absolutely.
also Ramos Cares. Ramos Cares is his
Credit recovery.
his credit repair services.
Yes.
So thank you, Ramos. We love you. Thank you all, and God bless you, and we'll see you in the next episode.